Okay, so yeah, I just got back to my desk and I took a quick look. It was already open, so um, I'll show you quick what's going on. So this is, it's just a work in progress. When I have a couple minutes here and there, or an evening or whatever, I put a little bit more time into it. Um, so I don't know where you've seen the last progress of it, but basically on screen right now, I have a few guys, right? These guys here. There's another one up here, and I got a couple little crash test dummies that are kind of like placeholders for, player units and enemy units. So really, recently, what I've done is this everything is just temporary, right? I'm working on the functionality, so like the grid system and the characters are in the grid, and when you move, how they get placed on the grids and that sort of thing. But other functionality like cycling through the characters and the UI and things like that. So I'm just putting things in place, and when I do sit down to kind of work on something, depending on what I feel at any given time, I'll work on a specific thing and just sort of like push the project forward just a little more. So it's certainly not a full-time thing. When I click on a unit, the UI expands, and I have the ability to do different actions. Again, the UI is all temporary. I could hit move, and move is really interesting. So this functionality here works really nice. I'm using a joystick right now, and this is something I'm really happy with, is how the move works. So each unit has a different move distance, and when I go into move, it sort of shows the range of that. And what I do at this point here is I get to draw out the path of the movement. And then I can go out, and the idea longer term is I'll be able to queue a bunch of different actions on different units, and then when I hit execute, they all perform the action at once. But right now, I just have this move sequence on this character, and if I wanted to, I could have him move. So there's no animation in place. The system for that hasn't been fleshed out yet. But I mean, plugging it in is can be done. It's just I haven't gotten around to it yet. So now he's on a new tile, which is really sweet. Another thing too is actions. So right now the characters do have inventories. They all have the same inventory right now. And what I did just before the weekend hit last weekend is because they have two inventory actionable items. Each one is called practice axe and one is called practice bow. Each one of those items have two abilities associated to them. One is attack ability 1 and the other one is ability 2. Right now I'm playing with how I'm going to be performing those abilities and things like that. But what I wanted to do, I want to try and make it very clear for the player. So what I'm playing with is the kind of like categorizing each action under the name of the item. So the player knows what item he's going to be using or what ability he's using that's like which on which item. You know what I mean. So again, I'm using that same functionality that I had before to sort of show the range of that specific thing. So this is all temporary, like the practice axe has a certain range. The abilities will have different ranges too, but in this case they're the same. The bow, I made it bigger just because, it's a bow, so it's kind of more long range, but it's just kind of visual for now until things get a little bit more solidified. It really is about working on the features that I could then kind of put more realistic or final things in. Right now it's just getting things to work. So yeah, so that's that. I got a little button that changes the turn. Turn changing, there's a lot happening under the hood. So it does go to the enemy player when I do that, and the enemy player right now, their AI defaults to changing their turn. So it goes right back to the player. What else is cool? Is there anything else that I've been doing? This part of the project right here is very slow because I really want to make sure I get all the systems working correctly. It really is like the foundation of it, so I want to make sure it works really, really good. So yeah, so basically I could draw that out. I could back out of it. Oh, this is a neat one. Look at this. This one's got a long. Yeah. So I also made it so that, let's say I'm going this way, and then I go this way, and then I come back here, and I go over one that already is a spot. It removes all the ones that was there, and returns those movement points to the unit, so I could redraw if I go over a spot that was already kind of like in that same path. Little quality of life things like that, right? And if I draw out a bunch of different paths right now, you know, they'll all be there. It's just that right now, executing is just done on one character, whereas I want them to happen on all at once. And right now you could see like the lines are very straight, linear. That's all, you know, just for functionality and for me to sort of see what's going on under the hood. But what I'll do is I want to have like nice Bezier curves on there that really, you know, make it feel polished. So yeah, so that's where it's at. That's a pretty good rundown right now. Like I said, it's slow at the beginning because there's a lot of systems under the hood that I'm kind of like redoing when I'm noticing it should have been done a little better, just so that things work as best as they can. So once all this combat stuff is done and all this sort of abilities and functions or systems work well together, then I could, you know, go into more cool things too, like animation and things like that. So yeah, so that's what's going on. All right, cool. Later.